Winning Blueprint presents.
5 minutes or less. Green Bay Packers.
Welcome, I'm your host, Lou. Thank you for joining me. This is the Green Bay Packers in 5 minutes or less. We got 5 minutes on the clock. Let's get started. So the high point of the season for the Green Bay Packers. Now, we could point to the Week 6 public humiliation and destruction of the Houston Texans on Sunday Night Football for all to see as the high point of the season. We could look at the 2 victories over the Bears. They always matter to Packers fans as the high point of the season. But neither of those victories are the high point of the season. Anytime you make it to the postseason and you win a game in the postseason, that trumps anything you do in the regular season. And so, the Packers winning in Wild Card Weekend over the Christian Ponderless Minnesota Vikings 24-10 is the high point of the season. And the Packers are in rarefied air in the National Football League. They're one of those franchises, one of those teams that it's Super Bowl or bust every single season because teams and the league and the fan base have come to expect excellence from this team. And so when you don't win the Super Bowl, it wasn't a successful season. Unlike teams like the Minnesota Vikings, your counterpart in that Wild Card Weekend matchup, where they're just happy to make it to the postseason. That's a successful season for them. The Redskins just making it to the postseason. That's a successful season for them. For the Packers, it's either Super Bowl or bust. And they didn't get it done, but they were able to win a game. That's the high point of their season. The low point of the season for the Green Bay Packers. Man, was I on the fence on this one because I so badly wanted to take that Week 3 matchup and make it the low point of the season because the Packers were jobbed and they went to Seattle. They earned a victory and they were absolutely robbed. And so that should be the low point of the season, but I can't allow it to be the low point of the season because you made it to the postseason and you lost. And the disappointment of losing in the postseason trumps anything that happens in the regular season. However, the outcome of this season could have been so much different if that game would have went the way it was supposed to go. The Packers win that game. You add another victory to their resume. Maybe they get home field advantage and they get that first round bye. Maybe that game against San Francisco is in Green Bay. Maybe they win that game. Who knows? You can't go back and second guess and play the what if game. But that could be the low point because the Packers never really got over that game. They were still talking about it late in the season, but they had opportunities to overcome that. You win in Week 17 against Minnesota, all is forgotten, and you would have had the second seed and home field advantage over the 49ers in that second round playoff game. Instead, you lose to Minnesota in the last week of the season, and so I can't allow that to be an excuse for you. So we move on to the free agency activity for the Green Bay Packers. The Green Bay Packers should test the waters in free agency. Greg Jennings and Sam Shields are your only 2 real free agents that you really need to concern yourselves with. Yeah, Brad Jones and Eric Walden are on the block as well, but take care of those 2 first. Either Jennings is going to walk and you're going to allow him to walk, or he's going to be back. Either way, you've got a little bit of cap space to play with. You need to address some of the deficiencies on your team. Let's start with the offensive line and work our way down to linebacker and running back. Be aggressive. Test the waters if you're the Packers. State of the fan base. Extreme optimism. You got Aaron Rodgers, the best quarterback in the game. You got Mike McCarthy, one of the best coaches in the game. It's extreme optimism. You put Aaron Rodgers on the field, you got a shot. You got talent oozing all over this offense from every nook and cranny except for your offensive line. And even there, you still got Brian Bulaga. So there's extreme optimism because every season the Packers have a chance because you got one of the best quarterbacks in the game. And when you got a quarterback that can get it done like Aaron Rodgers, you've got a shot every single time you step on the field. That's been 5 minutes or less with the Green Bay Packers.
Green Bay Packers. 5 minutes or less.